Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture of Python programming. So our video lectures, what we have covered before, we have discussed the list and tuple, what are the basic operations in list and tuple. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is functions in Python. We have already encountered with different predefined functions like input function, print function. So how can we create our own function? That is called as a user defined function. So let us see what is actually a function, why we need a function. Take an example. Suppose I want to develop a program for a calculator. So there are different options for a calculator. There is some addition operation, there is subtraction operation. In general, we can say there is arithmetic operation. A calculator can perform sine, cos, calculator can perform the logarithm values, the calculator can perform a root function, calculator can perform power function. So there are different functions of a calculator. That means there are different tasks of a computer. So when we are given with a big task, so we cannot do that task completely with one program. So we need to divide that program into different sections. So those sections are called as a function. That means whenever we have encountered with a big task, we need to divide the big task into different soft tasks. So that soft task or soft section is known as a function. So in case of our C programming language, we have already seen what is a user defined function, how to create a user defined function. So in case of C, to create a user defined function, we have three sections. First section is function declaration. After declaration of a function, then we have the function call, and last one is our function definition. First we have to declare the function, then we have to call the function, and we have a function definition, that means the function body. In case of function declaration, we have to mention that which type of function it is, what is the return type, what argument can the function take, and in case of function call, we are explicitly calling that function. The function will executed only it is called by a calling function. Then the function definition, that means the function body, where we have to define what is the work of that function, what should that function do. So these are the three different sections which we have covered in C language. But in case of Python, we have to define the function first. This is our first step. This one, function definition will go to first, then after the function definition we will go for a function call. So we have already known that whenever this function declaration is actually what? Optional. If we write the function definition at the end and function call is at the middle, then we have to declare the function at the beginning. But when we have to write the function definition at the beginning, then the function declaration is optional. You may mention the function declaration or you may omit the function declaration. So this is optional, that depend on your programming structure. But in case of Python, we are defining the function first, then we will go for the function call. So function declaration is not required here. In case of Python, we have two sections, that is function definition and function call. So how to define a function and how to call a function. Let us see how to define a function. So coming to the function declaration, we should remember that every function should start with a keyword. Every function should start with the keyword, that is DEF. Every function should start with the DEF, that means defined keyword. Second, after that we have to give a name. Should have a function name. Like variable, we have to give a function as a name, and that should not be a keyword. We know that what are the rules for identifiers. Function name is also an identifier, like variable, constant. Function name is also an identifier, and we have to remember what are the rules for the identifier. If it is a keyword, that means it is a predefined word. We cannot give a keyword as an identifier name. So, as function is an identifier, the function name should not be matched with any keyword. Then after having the function name, we have to mention the arguments or parameters. Then we have to follow the parameters or arguments, and this is optional. Many function does not take any input, but it returns some value. So, like that, parameters and arguments will be followed by the function name, and that should be put in between parenthesis, or you can call it as a round bracket. So, the parameters or arguments will be followed by the function name. This is optional. If you do not have any argument, then you just put a parenthesis there. Then after that, this will be followed by, every function definition will be followed by a colon. Why? Why there must be a colon? Because in case of C programming language, to identify a lookup statement, we have to put the curly braces. But in case of Python, we do not are using the curly braces there. So, what is that? That means indentation, and indentation can be recognized by a colon. So, when we will put a colon after the function definition, that means whichever the statement will follow the indentation, that will be treated as the lookup statement that belongs to the function. Then the last one is return. The function may return some value, that may be empty or that may some value. The function should return a empty value or a single value. Also, the function can return multiple values. In case of C, when we are writing, suppose I am writing here return 5, 6. So, this is wrong actually, because we cannot return multiple values in case of C. But in case of Python, we can return multiple values. If it is a Python statement, then it is correct. If we are returning multiple values, then in the function call, in the calling function where we are calling that function, there may be two or multiple variables are there, or there may be a tuple, because we know that tuple is a collection of variables. Okay. So, these are the rules for function definition. First, the function should be defined or should start with the def keyword. Then after the def keyword, we have the function name, and the function name will be followed by a parenthesis, and within that parenthesis argument or parameter list will be there, and that will followed by a colon, that means the indentation. And at the last line, we have to return some value, that may be an empty value, we may return some value, or we may return no values. So, this is the function definition. So, let us see how to call a function. So, in case of function call, first we have to write the function name, then the function name will be followed by the argument list inside the parenthesis, and these both, the function name and the argument list, will be same as the function definition. So, whatever the function name you have mentioned in the function definition, you have to call that function only. Suppose I am writing the function definition as what, like def, the keyword, and the function name I am writing here add, subtract. This is actually, here the argument is suppose a and b. So, this is the function definition. That means we are declaring a function that is add sub, and we have two arguments, that is a and b. Suppose for this function, here I am not mentioning the body of the function, I am just giving you the example, as it is our first class in function. So, this is not the right time to write all the programs here. So, this is the example what I am taking to differentiate between the function call and the function definition. Suppose for this function I am writing a function call, that is add 4, 5. So, when we encountered with this statement, the function call is what? Add 4, 5. So, the execution will not jump into here, because here the function name is mismatched. Here the function name is add, and here the function name is what? Add sub. Suppose I am taking the function name as add sub, but passing the arguments only 5. So, here the function name is matched. Here is add sub and here is add sub, but the argument does not match. Here I am passing with a single argument, but the function is capable of receiving 2 arguments. So, when we call this function will expect that should be 2 argument, but what actually we are passing? We are passing a single argument. So, let us take some example and see how the function can be defined and how the function can be called. So, our first program is to greet someone. So, let us have a function define. The function name may be greet, and here we do not have any argument, and let us put a colon here. So, when we put a colon and enter and press the enter key, the indentation will be followed and the cursor moves to here. This means here I can write print hello. Again I can write here print good morning. Okay. So, these 2 lines will be treated as the block up statement for the function that is named as greet. Now, here I can write my actual program and I can call greet function here. So, when I will call this greet function here, the execution will jump from here to here. If I do not write the greet function here, suppose I am writing nothing here, that means this is the function definition, and if we will write the function definition only and we do not call that function, that means the function will never execute. To execute a function definition, we have to call that function. So, what is that function? So, the function is what? Greet, and here the argument we are not passing any argument. So, we are putting a empty parenthesis and this is the function call. So, this is the function call. So, when we call this function, the execution will go to here and it will print hello, good morning. If I will call that function again, I am calling that greet function again it will go to here and again it will show me that hello, good morning. Okay. So, this is what? This is actually reusability. If I want to execute the same line for multiple times, then I can put it into a function. This is actually the beauty of a programming language. So, I am putting these 2 lines into a function. Whenever it is required, I can call that function only. So, let us take another example with having some parameters. So, the simplest programming is to add 2 numbers. So, here I am writing a program to add 2 numbers. Okay. So, we will start with the def keyword, and here we are adding 2 numbers. So, we can give the function name as add, and what actually we are adding? We are adding 2 numbers. So, the argument is A and B. So, here we have to put a colon, we have to follow the indentation. C equals to what? A plus B. Now, we can print the value of C. Print the value of C. Next, we have to come to our main program. So, there we can write A equals to typecasting int because we know that the input function will take the input as a string. So, we have to convert that into integer and then we will assign it into A. So, this is the typecasting. Input, enter the value or enter the first number. Okay. Next, for the B, again we can write the typecast int, then input, enter the second number. Okay. Next, we have to call this function. So, add A comma B. So, this is our program, main program, and this is our user defined function. This is our user defined function. So, our program will execute from here. A equals to enter the first number. So, in our output screen it will show me as enter the first number. Suppose I am putting here 10. So, after putting the 10, then for the B it will show me enter the second number. Suppose here I am putting 20, then after getting 20 here, add function will be called. So, when the add function will call, the execution will go to here. So, here the 10 will come to here, B will be assigned with 20, C equals to what? 10 plus 20, that is 30, and print C. So, here 30 will get printed. Okay. So, when my function is returning some value actually. So, suppose I do not want to print the value here, I want to return the value to the calling function. So, this is our calling function. So, here I am just returning the value of C. So, when C value will be returned, in the calling function there should be a variable that will accept the value of C. So, when we calling the add function by passing the argument A, B, this value of C will return to here. So, there should be a variable that will hold the value of C. Suppose here I am declaring another value, another variable, that is result. So, result equals to add A comma B. So, C value will get returned and it will assign to the variable, that is result. Now, I can print result equals to res. So, this is my main program. A equals to what? 10, B equals to what? 20. So, now result equals to add 10 and 20. So, the execution will come to here. C equals to what? 10 plus 20, that is 30. Return C. So, when we are returning the value of C, that is 30, that 30 will come to here. Here. So, this value is actually what? 30. After executing the add function, this value is what? 30. Now, this 30 will assign to what? This result variable. So, result will be 30. This is how we can return a value from the function to the calling function. I hope you people got the basic idea about function, how to declare a function, how to call that function. You have to remember the function name and the argument list should be matched whatever you use in the function declaration and the function call. In our next class, we will go for how to return multiple values from the function and what are the global variables, what are the local variables. Have a great time. Thank you.